Now seems like a good as time of any. Words aren't important. Actually, they're pretty darn important. What's going on, everybody?
Yeah. Hello.
What you doing, Tom?
I'm just responding to messages.
Oh, okay. All right.
On the chat.
Well, what's going on, everybody? We're out here. We're doing the thing.
Oh God, my body.
I will answer for him. It was great.
Did I say I was having a thing?
I don't know. Did you?
Did I say I was having a thing on Sunday?
You might have.
In my mind, I'm pretty sure I kept things pretty low key. Caitlin said she was good. That's right. I was like, what the heck? I'm like, how did people know? Like my recent move to not have social media, I'm just like, what?
Wait,
Like,
really? That's a thing? You're moving to not have social media?
I'm not on Instagram anymore, and
okay.
our tonight's news might mean that I might not have another app too.
Oh. Oops.
So we'll find out. I mean, it's not like I'm going to lose all social media, but I'm just like,
yeah, we'll communicate via smoke signals. It'll be fine.
Yeah. No, I'm going to say this in the most respectful way. Caitlin couldn't be here tonight because she's got a lot on her plate, and I want to make sure that she takes care of herself. We want to make sure that she can handle everything that she's doing, and also,
yes.
Nerd On is not a it's not a welcome to the call, motherfucker. You ride or die. It's like shit. As much as we're committed to each other,
no, you must be on the show tonight. No,
committed doing this. We want to have not like an open door, but just more like, hey, like take as much time as you want, and especially with our podcast on hiatus, it's very low.
The point
key.
is to calm down, not to be hardcore. I'm gonna turn off this loud ass AC behind me.
Okay. So did she tell you I said hi? No, she did not. But what I was, I'm gonna have Josh join in on this. What I was gonna say again, not to her detriment. My co-host for the night, bartendee. I got a lot into like mixology stuff. I think definitely Mora helped me out with that. And so we concocted a drink for Caitlin, and she was gone in like 2 seconds flat.
Yeah,
and I was
it was.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was with a quickness.
Yeah, not shitty, not sloppy or anything, but she was like,
no.
She was tipsy, drunk, and it was just like a water this size right after. And And yeah, so no, if she didn't say, she did not tell me you went to say hi, T Dog. I apologize. But no, she did not say it. But I think people had fun. So
Yeah, I Tom, it was fun. We played a game that nobody had in our group had played, so that was, I don't even remember what it was
yeah.
called. It was something Kill Lucky or something.
Kill Mr. I think it's called Kill Mr. Lucky. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we played that. That was fun. Complicated as fuck. So I have good news before you present your news. Okay. Somebody asked me a question, what kind of bread I am. I am a basic ass bitch. I am white bread for PB&Js. But like that, but you know when you get like a loaf of white bread and like the pieces are thick, like you're like, this bread has some, it's thick. I got a new job today that makes more than $30 an nice.
That is pretty great. So wait, is that the testing you've been studying for to do, right, T Dog,
To
the
do the thing.
asbestos stuff? But yeah, that's awesome. Congrats. I will say this on the stream, you officially make more money than I ever I'm making now. I did make more than that at a certain point, but I don't think that's going to be happening
I
anytime
thought
soon.
I was about to smack a biatch because you'll be making more than that at some point.
Oh,
Producing,
at some point, yeah.
directing,
But
you know.
I was making over 40 an hour at one point, but that was no tax, untaxed. So I
Oh
wanted like
damn.
$6,000 every tax, and I was like, oh no.
That's the
I just
thing
tested
about
for my
having like
current job. Oh wow.
I for some reason I've been thinking about the freelance life a lot, and it's like there are some places that I work that I'm like an independent contractor, and they bring me on like I'm an employee, so they take taxes out, which is great. But then there are places that it's just like, here's your check, and you're like, you get to tax season, and you're like, ah, ha, 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 ha.
Before we get too far into it, first off, or not first off, let's just, hey, Ethan, Who, Johnny Hoare, T Dog,
What
Julie,
up?
Abby, hello, everyone, in the chat. Just want to make sure we said hi to y'all. I know all the other lurkers who might be there. If you want to
Yes,
sound off, feel free.
I do want to
I'm reading
say.
a, yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to say. I was off last week, and I had posted something in the Discord in the personal Nerd On Nation channel, and I just wanted to make a shout out to everybody that reached out, said some kind things. I appreciate our community heard. So thank you all. It was a tough
Yeah.
week last week, and then it wasn't, and then it was a really great week.
I mean, that's the eternal now.
Yeah, but everything,
That's the
everywhere, all at once. So
Oh man, oh man. Yeah, the current job, asbestos job where I currently am, I make 20, so this new job pays a lot more. I couldn't pass up. Yeah, hey, I got a friend who potentially is looking down the barrel of like almost doubling his salary. So like, you gotta do what you gotta do, baby. You know what I mean? Like,
yep,
it's hard to say no to a better quality of life. And T Dog, that's really cool. Because one, you moved, and then you took this test for your current job, and then you got this new job. It's a lot. It's very good blessings for you.
you're doing the thing.
Um, I wanted to address Julie's comment here. I've been making a virgin version of my favorite one all weekend. I would like to know what that is, and to let you know that you know what I bought some non-alcoholic
For
drinks.
me.
Yeah, last
For
night, and they
me.
weren't bad. I liked. I don't think I had any of the wine, which is rude.
Rashid and Janelle were pounding it back. They were
Yeah.
like, it was delicious. I had like a small glass. It was super good. I mean,
Well,
non-alcoholic
that
wine
was.
is essentially grape juice.
Mhm.
I
Well, I
mean, it
mean, to
was
me, it was.
tasty.
That's why I was asking. I was like, are you sober? And they're like, no. And I was like, shit, I don't got a lot of this, man. Like, save this for the sober people. Shit. But no, I want to try it, and especially like the fact that if I can have like a dual setup where it's like, cool, this is gonna be the alcoholic side, this is gonna be the sober side, then I'm like, that's what's up. Like, and that's the thing where like, Josh, you and I talked about it, where it's like, it just feels so goddamn like patronizing, where it's like, oh, let me make you a virgin daiquiri. So Julie, I really want to hear what you made,
I
because typically if they're good mocktails, then that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is I've actually talked to Maura as well via instant message that like when you go out, there's very few places that have a solid mocktail menu, and if you're looking for one, you feel like what it used to feel like to get marijuana. Like you felt like you were going into the back, felt like you were going to the back alleyway trying to ask for like a secret, and you're like, do you have mocktails? Do you have this thing? And but some places like they have really solid, like it's not just like cranberry juice with some 7-Up in it. It's like some people actually like they mixology it and they make like good stuff that you're like, wow, okay. I don't know these things, but I like to order them, you know. Anyway.
Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah, it is a weird thing, but I am liking that. Like, I think the thing, to your point, so it is that like backdoor, 7-Eleven parking lot kind of thing. If you go out into bars and stuff like that, but like I like that like Bevmo and other places are starting to hold them in the stores, so it's like, oh yeah, this is cool. Like, and that's the thing I like, that like you're going to a Bevmo, so you're like, oh, I'm restocking the fridge or whatever the fuck, and then you're like, oh wow, just non-alcoholic side. So I'm like,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Hey, thanks for the Fizzle
Yeah.
Gig. I like that name.
There's a gig.
T-Dog, this is actually my voiceover booth right here. I just forgot to take it down. So there you go. There you go.
Curious what you could do with one of my favorite drinks. It's called the Godfather. It's half Scotch whiskey, half Amaretto. I wonder if you can make it better. I could take a look. I watch a lot of How to Drink, and he kind of goes into the history and dives into that stuff. I've been lately going to this one store where one of the bartenders used to work at the 7 Grand, and so he gives me a lot of suggestions. And he actually's like, "Oh, this is the popular one right now." He gave me this book that I'm reading, going through to be like that.
Perusing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna actually like. That's the one thing about like at home hosting. That's all I really want is just to be a good host. I don't
Yeah.
want to go into mixology because that shit is hard.
Yeah.
But also to that point again, I have sober friends, so I was like, I got to be a good host. I got to have options. So if I
You
if
must.
I if I go further into it, it's only purely as a hobby sense.
I still someday we will find the non-alcoholic Guinness and taste it together because all the reviewers are saying it tastes the same. So I'm like, my anticipation is like, all right, because Guinness was that was my go-to everywhere. So I am very interested.
That'll be like a White Castle moment for us.
We've gone too far.
Well, it'll be like a mission.
Yeah.
We got here. We did it.
I looked. I couldn't find it. I think it's brand new. Like it came out last month or something like that. And then that would be so cool to do like a lo-fi bartending stream. We could do that.
I mean,
we could totes do that.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Was there anything else in the chat real quick? I'll DM the pages of the book. Appreciate it. Curtains working hard. Da da da. Yeah, I guess that's it.
I think that is it. Yeah, we can start the show. Who's opening, Tom?
Started. Y'all want to get started? Hydrate. What was that?
Hey, what's up, Jeff? Who's opening the show, Tom?
Doesn't matter. You can go first if you can go if you want.
I'll go. So do we do the intro here and
Okay, so this is the thing. Do we this is because this happened last time. Do we do post show? Because I'm just taking all this and we're just all just going online, so I'm just like, do we just stick around for the post show? I think we just and that's the show. Thank you for sticking around.
Yeah, because I mean, we never really actually discuss what we're going to do. There's going to be an intro. Do we have alerts during the show? Because we're not recording it. So before it was because we were recording it that we didn't have alerts. Do we have alerts? Is this like a real live show? Like
the alerts would mess up our audio, right? So if we're talking and then it's like, all right, so Robert Pattinson puts a jewel in his bat belt, and then it's like, it's like, because he's highly addicted to nicotine. It might. I think it might erase that audio. So to me, I say the alerts off.
Okay, yeah. I mean, because right now you can I can turn the alerts off. I mean, not off, but I can turn them down low. Because I mean,
You could do
my
that.
viewpoint is that it's a live show now. Like it's
Yeah.
an actually truly live show. So at what do we even do like the drill is always nerd on like twice?
I think that's the end. That's like we don't do that. It's like cool, and that's all the
Do we
questions.
just
That's
like
all the news.
awkwardly end the show and like end scene?
I feel like cool. That's all the shows and all the news. We'll stick around in the chat. Thank you for everyone sticking around. And then we'll just talk, and then
Okay,
well, now we're gonna
cool.
raid somebody and end.
So I guess we'll just we'll go to intro and come back and I'll open the show. We'll do the
Well, we
thing.
gotta do clap syncs for fun.
Oh yeah, clap syncs for fun, for funsies.
You
Here's
still got the date.
I still got the date. I forgot what episode we're on, so
180/40.
there it is.
This is Tom.
For funsies. And T-Dog is representing B-Rad. B-Rad has clapped.
I feel bad. I remember he was saying if work or something got him out of like not being able to be here for this, he was gonna get mad. And you know what? He's probably mad.
He's probably mad. Listen,
We're here. We're here.
That
We
dude
listen.
has watched our show from a plane.
From the sky.
From the sky. So he pretty much has a forever permission slip. Like no, you cool, B-Rad. Okay,
I mean, the thing is, if we ever wanted to throw money at like, let's say we had all the money, let's say we had just stupid money and we could afford to buy dumb shit, I would totally get it. Like, you know how we want to glamorize and get like a guess that grump crown or sash or cloak or whatever a belt.
yes.
I would totally want to get a clapboard that we just call Brad.
Oh, the bad.
Get the Brad.
Yeah, get the Brad. Get the Brad.
Yeah.
All right.
So that'd be cool.
So I dedicate this episode to B-Rad. So if you're watching later, I heart you. Intro! What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Nerd On Update, our weekly show in which we talk about the nerdy news or exciting news or whatever the news that interests us. And the later half of the show in which we answer questions from you, the people, and we'll give more details about that later, so stay tuned. But we're going to start with the news, and because I'm already talking, I'm going to have Tom go first.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah. Back to you, Tom.
your North Hollywood correspondent here. So my news, I want to tack on a little bit of what Josh had was going to talk about, but my first big sweeping kind of business studio news is going to be that Netflix apparently reported that they had lost over 200,000 subscribers.
Wow.
This news came out around the end of last week.
Didn't they up their prices recently?
They up their prices. They're cracking down on some password
Oh,
sharing.
yeah.
And so this is the big deal because we're now currently in Q2 of what that is. And if you're not familiar in business, the only reason why Josh and I are pretty familiar with that is because we worked at a place where they were very upfront of like we're in Q1, Q2, and they always did like this weird thing where they're like Q1 was at the end of the calendar year, so it always looked good. Their Q1 was always really great. But anyways, Netflix's Q1.
That's when all the stuff came out was in Q1.
Yeah. So Netflix lost 200,000 subscribers, first time ever in 11 years that they ever lost some subscribers. And they are expected to lose 2 million more in Q2. Which is big. It's a lot. We're at a current point where I think Netflix is floating around 70. No, I think it's at 116 million subscribers, and then the closest one to it is Disney at 76 million. So when you look at the grand scheme, 2 million doesn't seem like a lot. It's kind of like, if you had 160 million dollars versus I had 78 million dollars, or I had 78 million dollars. Does that really mean a lot? Maybe not, but it does show that there's chink in the armor. The big kid on the block with the streamers is potentially losing some business, and
and there's a lot of competition. You have like Apple TV Plus. They're throwing out some good stuff, like solid content that you're like, ooh, okay.
And HBO Max is, I think, in fourth place, climbing up. I think it is Disney Plus, then I think Hulu, and then it's HBO Max, and then far below those are going to be like the Apple TV and Amazon and these other places. And I'll tell you this right now, there is kind of every single streamer now will probably have their own great show. I think Apple TV is probably the one that's struggling the most of like this is like Netflix has a Stranger Things, Disney Plus is like we had the Marvel and Star Wars. Not really a show that says like this is us. Where like HBO Max is like well, you know that we've had good shows forever. We are the
Yeah.
place that gave you The
We're
Wire.
HBO.
Yeah, they're HBO.
Okay.
They have been the king of TV for a long time. Hulu has FX, as we're seeing in the stream, thanks to T Dog. And Amazon's got The Boys. So it's like each place has kind of have their own homes and hubs for places. And soon, if let's say it's a big success, Amazon will have Lord of the Rings. That all that being said, this all came on top of the report of how much reportedly Stranger Things season was it season 4
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
what each episode was what cost. Now, I want everyone to kind of understand the idea before I just throw the number because I think when you throw a number, it doesn't have a good context. I work at a place where we work in live action television, and each episode, even if it's a season 1 or 2 or 3, whatever, with cast and the camera and the studio and all that stuff, um, would be about $1 million per episode. Now, the kind of outlier is something like Simpsons, which each episode is about $5 million, which is a lot for animation. Animation gets so shafted when it comes to money. And then Mandalorian really kind of sported that each episode was $10 million per. And then I think Game of Thrones, the last season, 8 episodes, was $300 million. So I don't know exactly the breakdown per episode. I can't do the quick math,
Yeah.
but Stranger Things reported that each episode for Stranger Things season 4 cost $30 million, and a lot of people were kind of like jaw dropping that Netflix is throwing all this money. But on top of what Josh mentioned with increasing the prices, also cracking down on password sharing, they're losing business. And also they're kind of showing a little bit of how at first when Netflix would come out with a show, drop the entire season, binge culture was such a thing.
Yeah.
But we've seen because of WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, the Mandalorian,
The
people
weekly
kind of
model
like.
is still alive and well. Like one recent one, Amazon Prime, the new Josh Brolin show. I forget. I think it's called Open Range. They release 2 episodes per week, which is like it's almost like a meet in the middle kind of thing, you know? Yeah, it's very interesting. Like that was kind of like the okay thing, because binging sometimes is really fun, especially when you're at the end of, like, when you're picking it up. Like when I picked up Arcane, it was like, oh sweet, I get to watch this whole thing. But it does have that, I think we've talked about on the show many times before, where it's like, well, when you're done, you're done. You don't have that like weekly anticipation of something.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's the thing where like the water cooler conversation really kind of helped grow certain shows during the last 2 years, because all we did was just stay home and watch a show. And I mean, as much as I to my chagrin, I hated all of the Marvel, like at 7 a.m. people are already talking. I was like, dude, it's been out for 7 hours. Like, give me some
Give
time.
me a
But like,
moment.
you can't help but see that, like, hey, I mean, that gets people talking. People want to be part of the conversation. Game of
Yep.
Thrones, the last season, every episode, everyone wanted to talk about it. Everyone had their theories. So, it's crazy to see how streaming, entertainment, film, TV business, all that is still ebbing and flowing and changing and evolving with new technology. So,
Yeah.
that is the bulk of my news.
Okay.
Josh, to you.
That was it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've got like a spattering. I think it's a smattering.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing
A
that
cornucopia.
cornucopia of news. The first thing, and I'm gonna like breeze right past it. Elon Musk is reportedly purchasing Twitter for $44 billion, which is, holy crap. That's a lot of
Yeah.
money. That's a lot of monies. But yeah, just going to breeze right past that because there's a lot of things that we could talk about with that. Have you seen the Batman deepfake with Adam West?
I have, and Matt Reeves reposted too, so obviously
Mm-hmm.
he saw it too. I did want to jump a little bit in that Elon Musk Twitter
Yeah,
thing
let's
if
do
you
it.
wanted. So it kind of all blew up today, obviously, because
Yeah.
I think the
Today was
dealings were
when
happening.
everything kind of came out. Like, this is happening.
And this all kind of comes at the end of the conclusion of this will they won't they kind of thing,
Yeah.
because Elon Musk had purchased enough shares where he owned 9%
Mm-hmm.
of the company, and which would automatically make him a board member. And so people were like, oh, he's going to become a board member, he's going to have influence over it. Why people are really skeptical, just kind of plutocracy, that people are very worried about, that like billionaires control the most things, and the people with the most money kind of lay way to like what laws are, versus how the government really should work is based off the voice of the people who are governed, not through the voice of people who sway the most control over the economic powers of that country,
Yeah.
aka Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And since he owned 9%, they're like he has to be on the board. The board pretty much said like you can't be on the board, because what would happen if he's on the board, he actually would have been put locked into a clause where he could not buy the company, if he was a board member. Since he did not buy the board, he was not into the board, then it allowed him to now be where we're at right now, where he's about to buy for $44 billion.
Yeah.
Has there been a giant, giant outcry? Absolutely.
Oh, definitely. There are people that have
Even
their feels about Elon as a person, as a businessman. It'll be interesting to see. I guess my main thing that I've been thinking about in terms of this actual deal is just the major deals that we've seen over the past couple of years of big companies buying big companies that aren't as big. Or, it's like the one recent one I think about that has, I don't know, it blows my mind is Amazon buying MGM, where it's like, whoa, okay, what is happening? But it's just like, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I have had some writer friends reach out like, hey man, just let you know, a lot of writer people are leaving to go to Mastodon, and I was like, I've never heard of that,
I've
so we
never
will
heard of that.
exactly. So I'm like, this is me downloading it, because that's kind of the thing with like social media. Sometimes if you go in there early, like what was the one that blew up in the beginning of 2020? It was the one where you can talk to people and you go in
Oh,
and they had rooms. Clubhouse.
Clubhouse, yeah. And now I
Clubhouse.
have
Remember?
hardly ever heard of it
Yeah.
because everybody, Facebook, Twitter, they all introduce their like chat rooms,
Room chats. Yeah.
and so it's like, yeah.
But that
Anyways,
that's all I wanted to add on top of that. But
yeah. I just wanted to add this just because I thought it was it was fun to see, and it was cool to see Matt Reeves comment on it. If you get a chance to look into the Batman deepfake video that replaces Robert Pattinson with Adam West, and shout out to Ethan. Yes, it's Corridor Digital that did it.
nice.
It's pretty incredible. Just as somebody who has worked on just films in general, to see CGI go from one thing to the next, it's really cool to see the preciseness of something like this. And I don't know, like a recent movie, and I know that Tom has spoke its gospel many, but Everything Everywhere All at Once, anyway.
Everything everywhere.
Yeah, that movie left me analyze it like in a place where I was like, man, the amount of keyframing and just like these things that they had to do, and it was just anyway. So when I see things like this, I'm just like, that is just truly creative and fun. So check it out just
Uh,
for some joy in your life.
I mean, Corridor Digital is is that the same as Corridor Crew?
I
Is it the same
honestly
people?
do not know.
If it is, it's because those are like quote unquote friends of the show. Corey and friend of the show. I met people here in LA. I know one of the people that works there. So let me look that up while you go to your next news.
Okay,
So
my next news is I don't know, for all you Elden Ring peeps out there, I was late to the party and now I am just taking it in straight to my veins. And I've really been enjoying it. It's been a chance for my cousin and I. We play it basically parallel. There are times where like, okay, I'm putting down my finger. Okay, we're going into this boss together. Or hey, let's let's go explore this on our own if we need some. And we're just talking on chat while we're playing it together. And the one part of the game that really is a weak link, and it's not just me saying this. There are peeps on the interwebs that are saying this, that the multiplayer aspect of it and co-op aspect of it is it leaves
like
much
deciphering
to
an
be
ancient
desired.
tomb.
Yeah, because there are times where you're just like, and my cousin was telling me, because he played previous from games, that there are some things that they kept in this game that they removed from their older games in terms of co-op, like the fact that if you beat all the bosses in the area, you can no longer co-op together. Which is kind of irritating, because if there's one boss that the engine or whatever isn't recognizing, it's like, hey, let's make it down to that big ass root monster that's at the bottom of Stormville. Oh, but we beat everything else in the castle, but it doesn't recognize that there's still one more boss to beat. Anyway, there's a modder that created a co-op mod for Sekiro. Luke Yui. They're working on a seamless co-op mod that would remove all of those multiplayer boundaries. Some of the things that it would include would be enemy scaling for co-op, being able to fast travel together, keeping together even after a boss,
riding a horse.
Yeah, going into Everjails or portals together, all these kinds of things that you're like, oh, the thing that I was like, God, this would be so amazing. Map markers being able to be synced on map, that it's just like, it's silly, but you're like, hey, there you go. Let's go towards that. I don't know. I think it's amazing. And I found out there's like a field of view mod. There's a VR mod that's in development. There's a photo mode mod, but I've never actually played with mods. So I'm like, I don't even know what all of this means, except for the like actual basics of it, that I'm like, oh, okay, this looks cool.
I mean, mods, I mean, that's the cool thing about like buying anything on Steam or on PC. And that's pretty much like the main like appeal, is that mods in the community there. Like with The Witcher in its, most, in its bare state is pretty like clunky, not gonna lie. Like absolutely, like no
It's vanilla
disrespect, but
version.
yeah, but it is clunky as shit. It is like getting more and more outdated as we go on. Like imagine the Elden Ring, you couldn't fast travel unless you like touched a Stake America.
Oh.
Like if you couldn't do that. Like if you'd only go to other Stakes
Oh.
America, and you're like, this
Oh.
kind of sucks butt.
Yeah.
And then the mods were like, no, you can fast travel wherever you go,
Yeah.
or like graphical increases, or
Yeah, there's a mod that to unlock its frame rate. There's I have one of my friends that I played Back for Blood and Fallout with said that Fallout 4 was essentially unplayable until a certain mod came out, that after like an update. And yeah, anyway, so I mean, the community out there for games is just incredible, and just I'm always amazed with people that have these kinds of skills to be able to do, especially with a game like Elden Ring, the size of it, that I'm like, wow. Would it be okay if yeah?
To go back just of that Corridor Digital and Corridor Crew, T-Dog from the chat definitely answered that question. Corridor Crew is the behind the scenes of Corridor Digital, and I know someone from Corridor Crew, so I don't know if they do the same thing. But the only reason I asked that is because the Corridor Crew had been doing so much deepfake stuff. Like they did a bunch of collaborations with the Not Tom Cruise guy.
Oh yeah.
And I think he's quite entertaining.
Yeah.
But that's barring if anything he did anything wrong. I don't if he's done anything wrong, I don't know. But no, he's
you have to be careful these days.
I know, but yeah, they've been doing so much deepfake stuff, so I'm like, oh, of course it's those guys. So when you say like, oh, okay, but
before we move on to questions, I do just want to celebrate some personal news real quick. I got a legit LA voiceover agent, and I'm very, very excited. They were on my dream list. I was still in the holy shit, did that happen? And they sent me an audition today, so it's real. Yeah, super excited. It's super. Tom and I have been talking about the external validation and internal validation kind of thing, and sometimes it's nice to get that external validation of like, oh, I'm doing it. I'm doing the thing, and somebody else believes in
It's
me.
it's the feeling of the win after the many the many hours or the time spent on the big the large amount of output
Yeah,
that the individual puts out.
yeah,
Just for context for people, you're saying like I got a legit LA agent.
yeah,
Those two words, legit LA.
yeah.
Why is that much more of a precedent? So people can kind
I
of
mean,
understand that.
there are different levels of agencies. There's like non-union agents, which like SAG after that kind of thing. But there's a lot of agents that are mainly like union houses, but rarely take non-union talent because a lot of the big stuff, like video games and animation, a lot of it is union. But a lot of things are going non-union. It's a whole thing. I'm not even versed enough to speak about it, so I won't put my foot in my mouth. Um, but it's a big deal because it is. They are one of the leading agencies in LA, which is they've been on my dream list for a while and just have heard nothing but great things about them. And to even be in their roster is just exciting for me. And it's I get a lot of commercial auditions, and I would love to get the stuff that I get. It's not that commercial is not acting. It is acting, like hardcore. But I want to do some animation and video games. My dream is to make Tom play as a playable character that is voiced by me. So really, it's just a long con.
Well, at least a character you could stay with.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so the next part of the applause bit. There we go. The applause sound effect. There we go. And crickets. Anyway. Okay.
Watch it be.
Trombone. There it is. Okay, so the next part of our show is in which we answer questions from you, the people, and there are so many ways to submit those questions that I made a website that T-Dog has been so nice to put up the command for it, nerdon.tv/questions. It includes an email, a Google form, but my favorite way is to join our Discord, nerdon.tv/Discord, and there are channels within there and the public servers that you can, the public channels that you can submit your questions. And if you join the Nerd On Nation, powered by Patreon, nerdon.tv/Patreon.
For how low? How low can they join?
My goodness, you can get it as little as $1, and you can still join the Discord.
Even less if you do the year.
Yeah, exactly. We have annual patrons, Nerd On Nation members. But yeah, you get super secret channels in the Discord server. So check it out. Also, I mean, at the same time, you're helping us to keep doing this as much as we want to. And, we are working towards, like we've said recently, to make some other projects. Sorry, holding back a burp, and it's just gross. We're working towards other... Yeah, exactly. We're working towards other projects that we want to make, like some short films. And we did some talking recently, and we're going to need some monies. So that Nerd On Nation helps. If you like to donate to shows instead, I know that we have some listeners and viewers that just would rather just give the monies through like PayPal. You can do that too. Twitch has like a button down there somewhere that you can do donate. So every little bit helps. But questions, you can ask anything. Like Jeremy M. asks, choose one. You start a casino. What is its name, theme, and details? You start a restaurant. Same questions. So you just got to choose one.
Choose one. And you know what? On the Discord, I believe T-Dog tried to call me out.
Yeah.
And say that I would do only a Batman themed casino.
I started thinking about it and brainstorming. I was like, oh man, you could be like Gotham Knights. Oh, you want to go down to Gotham Knights?
And you know what? I was like, you know what? That's not completely wrong. But
I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, the thing. Okay, casino. This is the thing. This is the thing. And I've gone on record and says that. I
says
like Batman.
that?
I say that. I like Batman. I do like a Batman a lot. And I say this. I know a lot of listeners, even members of the show, love Middle Earth. I beat all of Elden Ring with Mungus Blast. I
Mungus
like
Blast.
medieval stuff too. But I
Fantasy.
love sci-fi aesthetic
Ooh,
so
okay.
much. And I love gothic aesthetic so much. My top probably aesthetic is probably like dark gothic cathedral stuff. Anything that looks like demonic, like a powerful priest that can like absolve people with like a cross that blasts holy light. Like those kind of things. Like I like that kind of look. So my casino would probably honestly be a combination of like a sci-fi gothic-y thing where it's more like cyberpunk. Like my dream aesthetic for almost anything is to look like cyberpunk. Like imagine Batman Beyond in the world of what would be a functioning cyberpunk,
Hell
like
yeah.
the neon lights with
I
wet
like how you qualified a
floors.
functioning cyberpunk 2070. No,
One that cars don't come flying and people just don't T-pose as they get into a car, or like people who are like
oh.
scared all the time holding guns. I'm just saying.
Specificity is key.
Yes, I just want it to look, like it's functional.
Yeah.
That's all I ask.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the casino. I'd want it to be very like
You only have to choose
cyberpunk.
one. Are you going to answer
Yeah.
both?
Oh,
Says just choose one.
one.
You were
Yeah,
you were gonna
casino, because
fully answer.
we've done the restaurant a couple of times.
Yeah.
So I choose a casino, make it very cyberpunky, almost like the futuristic synthwave kind of look.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
Josh's
yeah.
background right now, my background right now.
Yeah.
like just
A
that.
lot of
that
neon.
look.
A lot of neon.
Yes. Yeah. So Batman Beyond Casino. You're right, T-Dog. You're right. It's Batman.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So all that's for you're right. I don't know if I would want to start a casino because I've worked at a casino.
Because gambling is bad.
Because gambling is bad, kids. No, I've worked at a casino for a number of years, or I did when first out of high school. There's a lot of casinos in San Diego County. It was a good job. It paid well right out of high school. Hey, look at that. We got a subscriber, MX Raf, 10 months. Thanks for that.
Thank you, Raph.
What would I? But there's a part of me that would really love to start a casino that was like Western theme, like a saloon, like
when to hold them.
Yeah, like wood floors, like you'd go obviously you'd want it to be a little bit more like solid than like Western buildings, but like it'd be cool if it was like just full on legit, like kind of like a Western saloon. Like I think that would be dope.
When to fold 'em. Just a gambler.
Yeah, Circa Tombstone, T-Dog. Yeah, hell yeah, that would be dope.
So everyone has to have a handlebar mustache.
Hell yeah. Man, it would suck to be on the team for that. Like the dealers have to have like, but if you had a Western casino, all of the people would come out for that. Like the people that the dealers that did have that would come out for that.
Oh yeah.
And
have
oh
yeah.
I was just gonna say the
I was
saloon
gonna say,
would
have
have a
someone singing.
solid mocktail menu. Yes, there would be like a saloon type stage. Like we don't need like a fucking Saquon or Viejas size. We can have like a little casino. It'd be fun.
Like Harder They Fall.
Yes, exactly. Next question comes from Spencer. Spencer, Wendy's, Burger King, or McDonald's? Five Guys, In-N-Out, or Shake Shack? If you answer these wrong, I will subscribe. No, I won't. That's a lie. Unsubscribe. So wait.
That's
so this is two
options.
separate. So this is. It looks like it's two separate. It looks like it's two separate because it's Wendy's, Burger King, or McDonald's, and then Five Guys, In-N-Out, or Shake Shack.
I'm gonna look
like
at the
there's an
question
end
real
to the
quick.
sentence.
I'm gonna look real quick. Okay.
Just grammatically.
Okay, I like that. Okay, I like that. Wendy's, Burger King, or McDonald's, then Five Guys, In-N-Out. Okay, I like that because there's kind of like the more worldwide chain, and then there's more of the regional chains.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with that. That makes it 10 times easier and much. I lied to a lot of people on social media of what the question was.
I lied.
You want to go first?
Sure. For the first, which is Wendy's, Burger King, or McDonald's, none of them. Jack in a Box? No, just kidding.
Ooh.
Can I do that? Am I allowed to do that?
No.
Because they're in the same echelon.
No.
No, I have to use.
Question.
Okay.
Yeah, if they said Jack in the Box and Taco Bell, and then you
Okay.
could pick it.
All right. Well, I will say I will answer McDonald's.
These.
I very rarely go to Wendy's or Burger King. Honestly, Jack in the Box is usually my choice. But with these three, McDonald's, every now and then I'm like, you know what? I really want a Big Mac. It's not big at all, but I really want a shitty burger and some shitty fries, and I love it. Five Guys, In-N-Out, or Shake Shack. I'm born and raised. I mean, not born, but I'm basically raised in California. In-N-Out. I'm gonna go In-N-Out. I I have very fond memories of going to In-N-Out at midnight with some friends to get animal fries, animal style burger, and getting some pepper on the animal fries. Ooh, baby. Every now and then it's just like, oh, you know what I really want? I want some In-N-Out. But it's a journey. Every time you're going to go get In-N-Out, it doesn't matter how close it is a journey. I'll be back in an hour. BRB, that's a lie. What about you, Tom?
Man. I'm a pick. Okay, time. Okay, hold on. Wendy's, Burger King, McDonald's. So this is a little bit of some knowledge for y'all. I'm gonna pick Wendy's for the top tier, or for the first tier.
Yeah.
Wendy's, because Dave Thomas. I don't know if people hate him. I don't know if we found anything bad about him, but he was a.
You've had to say that twice. Like, you can't express any opinions about anybody because they might be an unsafe choice.
This is the state of the internet at this point. We find out that everyone's terrible and that they all have done shitty things to people, and you're just like, oh my god.
But they're burgers.
So Wendy's. So Wendy's is my first choice because Dave Thomas, the founder of Wendy's, was a Sig Ep, and that was the fraternity I was in.
Got it.
And we always had this joke of, do you know why the Wendy's burgers are cut in squares? Because we don't cut corners. But I've enjoyed every single time I've been there. McDonald's, the floor is so like high, I guess, because it's really hard to mess up a McDonald's meal, but you also don't expect much from them. Where Wendy's, like, I expect very little from any fast food joint like that, and I'm like, oh, this is not bad.
I think everything has its something. Like, everything, like, I can find something that I like at Wendy's and Burger King that I can think of in the past where I've been like, oh man, that was good. That was really good.
Well, yeah, and I would say I've always been more like delighted that I've eaten a Wendy's burger over any of the other burgers. Where like a Burger King burger, like the way you want it is like, oh, it's because it's a $6 burger, it's big, but it's just like smashed and it feels like there's so much shit in there. Where like a McDonald's one is just like, okay, here's a small smashed burger, like, okay, cool, and then Wendy's like, hey, here's this kind of tiny burger, and it's like kind of just well kept together.
Burgers.
You probably want to buy two though. That's the only thing I would say.
Yeah.
And then the second tier, I want to be a bastard.
Of course you do.
And say Five Guys, because I could say damn.
Yes, it's my favorite video on the internet.
That's it. But the true honest truth is going to be In-N-Out, because I've had so many memories with it, and it is a little bit for that loyalty.
Even Nerd On has had In-N-Out outings.
Yeah.
So.
In-N-Out, I get regular fries, and then I do the spread on the side, because by the time the animal fries get to you, like, sometimes the cheese can get all
it's basically just become
hard
cheese again. It's just not even melted.
Exactly.
It's just,
and you're like,
shit. It's morphed back into what it was.
Yeah. So those are my answers.
Okay, next question comes from Gamer Fuji. Shout out. You're offered 250 million, but to claim it, you must enter the last TV show movie you watched and stay there for a full year. If you accept the deal, how's the life there?
Actually, so this one comes from
happy.
So this one comes from Twitter. Julie posted on our Discord, and I appreciate that. I like, if you could source any questions, if it's yours or you find it from the internet and you want to put it up on the show, this is pretty great. So you're doing pretty well. What's the show or TV or movie?
Right actually before I came in and set up everything for the show, We were watching it's the last season of Better Things on Hulu. Basically, it is Pamela Adlon. It was originally created by Pamela Adlon and Louis C.K., but she's obviously she's taken it over. But she's star. She's a star. She's a mom, and she's got 3 daughters. And it's it's really just about motherhood and all that kind of stuff. I just I really enjoy it, and if I were living in that world, I'd be okay. She's a good mom. It's a cool house. I think she plays a version of herself, so to speak. Like it's more of like I gotta say, hey Mamba, good night, sleep well. But yeah, basically she plays an actress living in LA, trying to do the thing. She's in her 50s, and she has 3 daughters, and I'm sure we've known people like that are still keeping a life going while being in Hollywood and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, Diedrich Bader is in it. The house is pretty cool. I'm okay. She's very caring. She cooks all the time. They do like cooking segments, like not like how to, but it's like a slice of life where she's cooking something, and it always looks delicious. Always like, oh my god, that looks delicious. And she's trying new things.
They couldn't show it if it looked bad.
Yeah. Oh, Cree Summers in it. Yeah, a lot of cool people in it. Anyway, what about you, Tom? Are you dead?
The last show I watched, what was that?
I said, are you dead? Like,
I don't know. It depends. This is the thing. It depends. The last show I've been watching 2 shows, but the most recent show is probably Star Wars Visions.
Okay.
So most of them are potentially all Asian people because it's all directed by anime filmmakers and storytellers. So I might be okay living in a galaxy far, far away in a time long, long ago. But I feel like I'm okay
I think
because
you're
it's
okay.
either
Space wizards.
it's either I'm the thing is like either I'm a Jedi and I died in Order 66, or I'm a Jedi before all that and I die of old age, or I'm just not a Jedi and I
you're
just
just a
never
guy
lose.
that's selling
Yeah.
spaceship parts on a
Yeah.
random.
So the thing is like either I get brutally killed in this giant evil plot,
or
or I
you're
don't.
collateral damage. You're a part of the
I mean,
collateral damage.
if I'm a Skywalker, I might be alive.
You might be.
So yeah, so that I think I'm okay. In Visions, I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
I
I
think I
mean,
find a way.
that's all the questions that I have in the spreadsheet. Tom, you take it away. You have the other stuff.
I have some of the chat questions. If anyone has any more chat questions, please put in the chat. And I want to get started with a question that I saw here um in I think this is from like a couple weeks ago. This is from my mom's garage. And this is an Ethan Who question. This is an Ethan Who question, even though it's from my mom's
Oh
garage.
no. Oh
Is
no.
cereal a soup? I say yes. I say yes. I say if you have liquidy substance, which is your broth, and then
Yeah,
you have whatever is
the
in it.
milk is the broth.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
the fact that in the grocery store, if you go buy oatmeal, it's called hot cereal. I'm like,
yeah, somebody was like, I want soup in the morning, but I want it with other things. Like I don't want minestrone or anything like that, or like chicken noodle soup. What am I gonna do? Yeah, I think I think I agree. I think cereal is a breakfast soup.
yeah, okay, agreed. This one here,
Agreed.
this one here is actually from a new follower. Thank you for following today,
Oh, hey.
Fizzle Gig. Now there's a lot. I feel like Fizzle Gig kind of explained this, that they were sitting here in the chat and they were just holding a bunch of questions in or comments, and they wanted to get a bunch of this out. So there's like a smattering of questions. I don't know if we'll be able to answer all of them, but
Are you answering that first one?
I don't know. I'm gonna say it out loud though.
Okay.
I always wondered how much a voice actor makes for porn voiceovers. I don't think they're going to make a lot, and because I don't think they do that, unless it's like they're dubbing a sex scene. But from what I know of what porn stars actually have to do in order to like make porn videos, like I was in chats with different adult film actors, and they have to produce, direct, and perform and do all that shit by themselves. The only things that they don't do is probably do the camera and then edit. But even then, some other actors have to shoot other people's scenes. It's like, cool, now we're gonna have a scene
It's
right after
very
these.
even though it makes a lot of money, it's very independent filmmaking, kind of, so to speak,
Okay.
on some things.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know.
And T Dog kind of is suggesting potentially with Fizzlegig was asking about hentai. I would say it's probably the same rate as regular voice acting,
Yeah, animation,
which
like it'd
means
be like it's an animation.
as in it's animation, it's probably too low because it's probably scale, and
It's probably
a
not
lot
even
of people
scale. It's probably lower than scale. So
yeah, and a lot of people are watching that shit. Whether it's at the end of the day, an actor, it's a job, is a job. And there's a follow up. Is it like looking up stock photos? Is it like stock grunts and moans and repository? Josh is actually a really good resource of where what would you look for, like libraries of audio. You could find non-copyright music, you could find room tone, but I don't think there is a place for that.
I mean, if they're this is always like a tricky place because some places like it differently. Like if it is human produced, like what we're saying, like grunts, groans, moans, like that kind of thing, some
Efforts.
people will say that it will be in the dialogue, and so it's something that is produced in like a Walla scenario. Some people think that it's more of a sound effect. I think it's more of a sound effect because it's not words. There's no, like if it were taken to another country, they may not need to dub that. But yeah, it might be in like my sound effects library has efforts in it. It has, different like, yeah, punch sounds or stuff like that where somebody's being hit by something. I would imagine, like, honestly, if you looked online and you search sound effects libraries, I wouldn't be surprised if there are human effort sound effects libraries that you can be like, oh, I want things that are intimate scenes like that.
Yeah,
There's gonna be, and the last part of there, do you need a membership for that? I mean, everything is a membership these days.
true.
Everything. So
True.
I think some things do outright just buy it, but most things have membership things. Fucking
Yeah,
Pro Tools,
in
fucking
in
Photoshop.
in LA, if you want to find a job, you gotta have a membership to the website to find the job.
Yeah.
If you want to find a new place to live, you gotta pay this place where they're gonna just give you access to a database. And just like you gotta pay for everything. Um, Next question.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, wait, I do want to tag on a little bit of Julie in the chat. I'll tell you the secret: you get grunts and groans from other things like video games. They often work shockingly well, especially when you string them together. Don't ask how I know. I'll tell you this right now. Play any of the Soul Calibur games. They got like 80 voice line efforts, and if you just go through, and I mean, this is the thing. This is the thing. This is the thing. Listen. Soul
Listen,
Calibur
Linda.
is the most.
Listen, Linda.
Soul Calibur is the most egregious in terms of just like jiggle physics and putting different outfits and then using camera mode to go in places where why would you
Why are
do
we
this?
doing that? That's not even
Like,
cinematic. Why are we
the
doing
only
this?
reason you do this is if you're a pervy little 12-year-old like me who's like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of Soul Calibur too, and I like Ivy, right? Is that kind of stuff. And so that I corroborate this.
Yeah.
Next question will be from Tita. Oh, you know what? Let's go from Abby007.
Oh,
What
okay.
things are you looking forward to in the summer?
I am going to Cancun for a week.
Ooh.
It's like a Christmas gift from my dad from like 3 years ago. That
Not-
finally we can
Cashing
actually cashing in. My stepmom, it's her not 60th birthday. Like her 60th birthday was like last year or something like that, and finally everybody can go places. And so so going like on a big family trip to Cancun, it'll be interesting because I don't drink. Like Cancun's very like, it's Vegas, it's basically Vegas on the beach. Some people like that. I'm just not often
So
a beach place person. Hmm?
But see, a lot. I understand the connotation. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm smelling what you're stepping in.
Yeah.
Um, in Vegas, alcohol and stuff. There's also a lot of buffets. So does Cancun have a lot of buffets?
I honestly don't know. I usually stick to the all-inclusive resort. So it'll be interesting. I mean, there's Mexican food down there, so I'm down. It'll be fun. There's going to be like a catamaran. We're going to go on I mean, a catamaran. Going to go to like some old pyramids and stuff. So but I get to be with family. Some family I only get to see once a year. So this is kind of cool. And like otherwise, summers are weird for me as a freelance employee. Like as a freelancer, this is me for the summer. I'm working on a film right now that will probably be done in the next like 3 weeks. And after that, I'm like, cool. Oh, working on Tom's film.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
probably booking a bunch of voiceover. Let's put that into the universe.
Yeah. For me, what things I'm looking forward to this summer? I plan on hopefully popping off and shooting a lot of the short films I have. I printed them out, so like you got to take the steps. The stupid artist like process of like writing a thing, getting the consistency of it, bringing it out to the physical world, putting it out
Yes.
so it's out of your mind. I printed out all of the scripts for the shorts that I have written. That I think I could shoot soon, and there's 3 scripts, and I will be sharing it with the Patreon at some point. So take a look for that video. But I want to shoot them. I want to produce them. There are other projects that people want me to shoot, to produce and direct. So I look forward to hopefully like getting the right people to do it with me. It is going to be a big undertaking. This probably might, if everything goes well and I get my shit together, this will
Get
be
your
a
shit
big
together, Tom.
yeah, this will be a big undertaking. Like I could potentially be like shooting and producing like 7 short films this year.
I know that you said that you
Uh,
wanted to go ham. So,
yeah, and they're not going to be as grand scale as my other ones in sense of like they're going to have the most production value. There are some that just cost me so much, and they were just like a little bit more involved of like how many people and stuff like that. They're going to be more like two-handers and stuff like that. So I'll talk a lot about that later on in a Tom Talk video they could check out before the end of the month.
Nerd on
But
Entertainment LLC will be part of the producing partners.
yeah. And so for the summer, what else? I've been doing a lot of kickboxing. I'm hoping that, by the summer I'm not terrible at it. Like there's a part of me, I know I'm pretty far away from it. There's part of me that just like wants to be able to say I could go into a ring and fight, like go into like a produced fight, which is scary to think about. But like I know like I'm not going to be a professional fighter at any time,
Oh,
but I'm
like
just like, okay,
you want to get to a place that you could be competitive. Doesn't necessarily
yeah.
mean that you would compete.
Yeah, like
Okay.
pretty much like playing Super Smash Bros. Like I want to be able to take one stock off of a professional player. I don't
Yeah.
need to win. I don't
Yeah.
need to win at all.
You just need to be able,
Because
like, if that movie scene came up where somebody was like, I dare you, and you're like, okay. And you like
well,
beat them.
I mean, it's just like purely Rocky, where it's not like I don't need to win, but I just need to say like I didn't give up.
Yeah, I get it.
Like I was able to go the distance a little bit, and so we'll see that. Well, I mean, I don't think again, I don't know I'll be there, but I'm like, okay, I'm learning some different combos now, and I'm doing some different things. I'm
Yeah.
actually hitting a bag, so we'll see
You're
what's going
doing the
on.
thing, Tom. You're doing the thing.
Yeah. So I guess that's what I'm looking forward to this summer, and then hopefully better opportunities for me to have better pay the bills jobs or uh learn things in this studio world. We'll see. Next question.
Sure. Let's do a couple more.
Next question. Um, so this one's going to be from Ethan Who.
Ethan.
Glupshido. Glupshido is a TikTok joke which describes any minor obscure character that you absolutely love. Who is your Glupshido? A minor obscure character that you absolutely love.
Shit.
I know, right?
Wow.
I
I
know,
really got to
right?
think about this. I'm looking around my studio to see if there's anything that I'm like, oh yeah, hey that.
I
I feel
absolutely
like
minor.
I feel like Marvin the Martian is always treated as like a minor character in, like, he's not in everything. I
Yeah.
mean, I think he's loved, but he's not, like, when you think of the Looney Tunes, you're like, oh yeah, Bugs Bunny, Daffy, even Foghorn Leghorn gets more love. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, there's, but Marvin the Martian is always, I mean, he was my inspiration growing up. Like, I was just like, that Marvin guy. I love it. That's my answer for now. Let me think. You can go.
Let's see if I can find one. My Glup Cheeto is probably going to be maybe, I think, I mean, this is I like Batman Brave and the Bold's the animated series, who the Batman is voiced by Diedrich Bader.
Dietrich Bader.
I like Batmite in there, and so Batmite is like Mr. Mixoplidic. Mr. Mixoplidic is I don't know, is he a fairy or is he a pixie? Anyways, they are a being of like the fifth dimension.
Hey.
And so I don't know exactly what they is, but they're a being from the fifth dimension, and they can manipulate space time and all this stuff. And there's a little boy. It's just a little dude who is obsessed with Batman, like a fanboy, almost like as an audience surrogate. And
Okay.
the thing I love about him is that at the end of Batman Brave and the Bold, this isn't too much of a spoiler because it's not really a plot thing, but he ends the show, because he's saying like, I don't like this Batman. I want this to end. And he calls out Batman Brave and the Bold as a TV show. He's like, we're canceling you. And so it like breaks the fourth wall, and then like everyone's like, oh, okay, we're wrapping up. It was a good season, da da da. And it was kind of an emotional thing, to just kind of hear the doors were shutting down on that show, but then they did it in such a way which was, I don't know, kind of like not talking down to the kids, not letting them know that like, hey, like, this is just the end of the series. Is where like, because at the end, Batman, says like, and listen, boys and girls, blah 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 blah, fighting, and I'll always be fighting there with my hammers of justice. And then like Batmite is just there, and he's just like, yeah, this is kind of sad, and we're gonna end it, all that stuff. So it's like, I like that there is that. There's always, everyone loves Deadpool and whoever else breaks the fourth wall, or a Harley Quinn who's just too smart for their own good. But Batmite is like kind of cool because it was kind of like they're using an in-world thing like a surrogate and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like the one above all in Marvel Comics.
Yeah. Cabbage Man. Cabbage.
My
cabbages.
That's
And then I love when he has like this major corporation in Korra. Just my cabbages.
I think I for sure played around with the idea that if I ever get the keys to work on Avatar Studios, I would totally make like a story where like the Cabbage Man like hated the Avatar and like
Became a villain.
to just like try to like poison him or get him sick or something like
Okay.
that. But then like there's all these like there's like the guards who always try to stop him. It was just more of that kind of dumb.
What if like
stuff.
the Cabbage Man accidentally fell into like a dimensional portal and became like a cabbage man, like a man made out of cabbages, and like it was like a villain? No. We'll workshop it. Let's workshop it. Let's go to the next question.
Spirit world.
Yeah.
Next question. This one's gonna be okay. I want Tostigawa to have some acknowledgement because they posted up this question, and I have no idea what the heck this is. But I feel like I want to answer it maybe next week when I have more information, because their question was, so just got here and only found out about Trigon Space Story, and I have no idea what that is. And it's talking about suing and stuff like that and subset games. So I want to first acknowledge it and just say like, hey, if you have another question, please put it in and we can answer that. And we could probably try to answer that next week. But the next question I would probably say next would probably be T-Dog 8282. What three characters would you want to run with in Lego Star Wars?
Oh. I mean,
I heard everyone's going crazy about that game. And I've never played any of the Lego Star Wars games.
I have never played any of the Lego games.
Same. I have the Batman Lego games.
I've heard good things about them. Like I've heard good things of like all of them.
Yeah, I heard they're just like the best things with the fandoms. Like they're like the Telltale games are like, oh, this is so good. Like it's such a good
Yeah.
like riff off that. But I mean, just to answer the question, what 3 characters? I mean, I don't know their abilities or how it would change, but just based on the idea, um, if Chewbacca could rip off arms, Chewbacca. Um, Darth Vader to choke a bitch, and then probably Yoda to continue my Mungus life.
My Mungus. My
My
Mungus
Yoda.
life.
Mungus.
Man, I'm taking the Darths. I want some Darth Maul action. I want some Darth Vader action. And I feel like I'd want some Obi-Wan action. It would be just, it would be a really like really awkward party. But you know what? I'm here for it. We're strong, and I'm just there.
that I've seen some clips where a lot of people love that because there is parts where Anakin like sees, or Darth Vader sees young Anakin. And then like Anakin's like, oh, look at this guy, he's so cool, or something like that. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, dumb kid.
Dumb kid.
General Grievous sounds dope.
General Grievous. I am very interested lore wise. Like I don't know much about it, but I always like, do you ever skim in the internet and you're like, you see a headline, you're like, oh, that's information I'd like to know, but you just kind of like in the moment are like, I don't have time to really read that. But I see like lore articles get posted sometimes about General Grievous, and I'm like, man, I really want to know that. Just not right now.
Yeah, I've been doing that with Magic, and it's all like the lores of different planeswalkers. I'm like, oh my god.
My cousin is like, he has selective memory. Like he likes like the very specific kind of things. Like he's getting into the lore of Elden Ring, and he'll be like, oh, this person that we're fighting is second cousin or brother to this person.
Yeah.
And this is why this is fucked up. And like, I'm just like, oh God. Oh God.
I don't know. I think I was doing that during my stream playing it. And then Julie was like, is Tom just stringing words together? Because I'm like, Rani is an Imperial.
Are you just like,
daughter?
Oh, blah, 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 blah.
Rani is an Empyrean daughter of Radagon.
And then they took away death, and then everybody got mad. And then
so the death so Marika removed the death rune from the Elden Ring and gave it to her shadow, which is a beast, and he made it into a sword, and it's called Destined Death. And so they always say its other name. And then
we always
was like, yeah.
We always say the steak of America sounds like it sounds like a bowl that you get at like
Steak of America.
Steak of America. And it's just like, it's like steak meat just like chopped up in a bowl with like mashed potatoes and sauce, not gravy, but like sauce, just like all put together. I'll have the steak of America.
I mean, I'll say this, Josh. I know that, potentially the way that, with your line of work, it'll be feast or famine sometimes.
Yeah.
But if you can go take your sweet wife to some dinner, Major Domo,
yeah.
They have a thing called crispy pork belly rice.
When are we going?
The rice is crispy. I can't afford it. I can't afford it. I'll tell you that.
I can't afford that.
I went as on a business dinner. So like, I'm like, okay, cool. Thank you. This is like a very complimentary dinner that they have.
Oh yeah.
Giving to us.
Yes, I will take some of that.
Yeah. So the crispy rice, they pour like this like broth consomme thing, and it's just like you were saying, like that just chopped bits of meat, and it's like just when you said it, I was like, oh my god, it sounds so good.
Yeah,
it sounds so good.
I want to
and
T-Dog,
yes.
You're thinking of Corey's wife. My wife is Bonnie.
Yeah.
But yes, you did spell Dana right.
And they are both lovely.
Yes, they are.
Both lovely.
The wives of Nerd On. I keep wanting to take Bonnie to the Korean barbecue place that's just down the street. The Jen?
Oh, Jen.
Yeah, but I think it would be fun to take you and her. I don't know how much she's gone to Korea. I feel like we're at the end of the show. That was the last question.
Yeah,
so I mean, this is like
we're
see, this is the awkward transition.
Well, thanks for the show.
Thanks,
have
everybody.
No more dick to give you guys.
Wow.
This is now the post show.
Wow. It is weird not being in podcast mode. I mean, I'll be perfectly honest. Like, it's been nice to have a break to like focus on the the other stuff in my life, working on a
Other
film,
machinations.
the other machinations, and like I've been putting a lot of time into voiceover, which is really, I mean, that's honestly dream life is voiceover and audio and nerd on are like, and life balance, like,
The
you know,
trio.
the triumvirate of my
The triumvirate.
the triumvirate of my my creative life is fulfilled. Bonnie the other day was introducing me to somebody, and they were like, "Oh yeah, he audio." She was like, "He does a lot of things. He's a lot of things." So I do a lot of things. I'm pretty good at
Yeah.
them.
It is pretty interesting. I was talking to some friends, and uh you know, I think when we think about doing a lot of things, to us it's like 5 things.
Yeah,
On our normal, what we would be fulfilled with is like kind of what you're saying, the triumvirate of things. It's just 3 things, but some people can't even do one thing,
yeah,
and it's not even saying like we're greater than or they're
yeah.
less
I don't
than,
think I'm better than
but
anybody. Sometimes I wish I did just one thing. Sometimes I'm like,
yeah.
I wish I had that desire, that like, but I can't imagine my life not doing a lot of things. Maybe
The
that's
thing is, it's
actually
not.
maybe that's actually a trauma response, and we're going really deep into like a, no, just kidding.
And that's it's not like yeah, like a can or cannot, but some people, are paralyzed. They don't feel like they're an ability to pursue the things that they want to do, or even try artistic things. I remember, you remember a lot, for a while we got so many questions of people just being like, how do you start a podcast? How do you start a this? How do you start a that? And I think a lot of people just kind of, are afraid to jump into it, doing the prep work. One thing I always really liked was that E.T., the hip hop preacher, he always talked about, it's like, study who you want to emulate. And then at a certain point, you got to jump, because if you don't do that, then you're just going to be studying for no reason, right? You're like, yeah, at some point you have to take the test, and it's not about a grade. It's about like, do you feel confident that you want to do a thing? And for us, like, it's not even like, do we feel confident to do a thing, or it's more like, at what point are we going to start doing the thing?
Yeah,
And once we have one pyre in, we're gonna put another one, we'll put another one, and then we'll get to a point where we're just doing so much. Like, even now we do a weekly show, which is more than other people do at
yeah,
all. And it's not like, again, it's not a chip on the shoulder thing, but it's tough and it's hard to be consistent. Like, you could make a joke that like, we are now the one week we're 2 hosts, the next week we're 3 hosts, the one week we're two
yeah.
hosts, the next week we're three.
Anytime I see
Like, it's hard.
somebody like the day before a show, I'll go, see you maybe tomorrow. Because it's
Yeah.
like you gotta, I think, especially in the world that we've been talking about lately, just personally, like, I slept 3 hours last. Ethan, get some sleep, man. Get some sleep. Um,
Or hang out and then have good dreams about this conversation. I'm kidding. No, I'm
yeah,
kidding. No,
yeah.
get
But
some sleep if you need to.
it reminds me, I almost remember when I was gonna make that video series for our channel. I wanted to call it like "Make the Damn Podcast," because it was just like,
Mhm.
sometimes you just got to do the
Mhm.
damn thing, even if it sucks. Like, just
Mhm.
that's what I learned while I was going to songwriting school. Sometimes you just got to get the shit out on the page, even if it sounds shitty to you. You just put it on the page, because you can rewrite the shit out of anything to
Yeah.
get the first draft out, so that
Yeah.
it can be somewhere else than here. And
Yeah. It becomes physical. It becomes externalized. I like T Dog. Julie, do the thing.
Julie, do the thing.
Um, but like, no, it is tough, because I think the tough, I've been watching or listening to a lot of Alan Watts, and a lot of the things are always kind of like, we're always kind of really, like, if you're always talking, you're not listening, right?
Yeah,
But if you're always thinking, then sometimes you're not doing. And so if you're stuck in your head all the time and you're constantly just thinking how to do it, it's like, just do it,
yeah,
and then you'll, like, kind of like, again, the brain does not know that it's a brain. The brain does not know that it's thinking sometimes, and it just does. Our lungs do not realize we're lungs until, like, it's like, oh, I'm just breathing, until you're being conscious of it, and then you're overthinking of like how you're controlling your breathing.
yeah.
So no, Julie, this is the character from Legend of Korra, whose name is Julie, and
Julie.
that couple is a great couple, I will
Oh,
say.
yeah.
But oh, sorry.
Um,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, but no, it's. I don't know how we got on this topic, but
I don't remember. But here we are.
No, yeah. Yeah, we're now in the post show. Thank you everyone for swinging by, chatting it up, giving us some questions. Everyone here in the chat, please join the Discord so that you can put more questions in there, so we could have all the questions to answer for next week.
Nerd On Nation members,
yes,
send in your questions. We're running out of Nerd On Nation specific questions.
Yeah,
Jeremy M is holding the title. Jeremy M is. I remember when we first started the update. Jeremy M sent us literally like 2 pages of questions.
I still have questions from him from the first time.
Yeah.
Because there are things in there that none of us have experienced that we're like, I'm not going to ask that. I'm not going to ask that question. So when we get there, then we're like, now we answer that question.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be a legacy question.
Yeah, legacy question. Jeremy M is a legacy member. Yeah, that's the update this week. Everybody at home, we keep talking about this, but do it. It's like the conversation is always going. I'm always having notifications from the Discord. Join that Discord, nerdon.tv/Discord. A lot of cool people over there. A lot of cool, supportive people, which is sometimes hard to come by. And everybody is just super supportive of the stuff and the things. Share your artwork, share your things, whatever you're working on. Yeah, it's a cool group of people, and it's growing all the time. So make sure you stop by, join, accept the rules, and then tell us about yourself in the About Me channel, because we love to learn.
I want to read.
We love to learn about everybody. I'm not always active, but I do read. Do join that Nerd On Nation. It does. We talk about it a lot because it is that important. It does allow us to keep doing this. And we are, like we have said recently, we want to do more, actually. And that money's helps. You can join the Nerd On Nation, nerdon.tv/Patreon, or donate. I think it's nerdon.tv/donate. And you can donate.
Can I make a suggest, actually, for update shows?
Sure.
People in the chat, if you go into the update section on our Discord, if you give us maybe at least 12 hours advance, put in a topic that you might want us to talk about, and we could probably just try to put that into our question portion. So
sometimes that's helpful because sometimes there's no news that I care about.
Yeah. So I mean, Tosegawa has like this kind of a perfect example of like, what is this thing? I'm like, I don't know what this is. And I would want to probably read up on it and be like, okay, what are my thoughts? Because as much as this is a news and question show, it's a little bit about our own personal opinions. Yeah, if there's some topics that you guys want us to talk about, or it's like, hey, talk about what do you think about the Cuphead, Netflix show? It's like, I don't know, let's find out. We can expand the update show, especially during this hiatus where we're flexing and changing and growing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So. And yes, we can totally raid Kieran once we're done.
Yeah. But I think now is the time to start getting that on the I don't know. Get that ready?
Ready?
Yeah, get that ready.
Let's go do that. Kieran. Okay.
Yeah, do not forget to accept the rules, because here's the true. We have had situations where the rules had to become a thing. So make sure that you accept them, because you can't do nothing in there but read the rules.
Oh wow! You said last week, Griff? I appreciate it. Okay, hold on. T-Dog, I do not see a Kieran in the chat. Is that Kira Hime, who's playing Elden Ring, or your Moonstone? Okay, your Moonstone. There you go.
That is.
There it is. Hold on. Your Moonstone. Your Moon. There you go. Okay. Okay. Got you. Yeah. So I'm gonna hit start raid now.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Josh, sing us out.
Everybody at home, thank you so much for watching, for listening, for doing all the things. We appreciate you. We heart you. Take care of yourselves this week. We will see you next Monday. Make sure to stop by here on our channel whenever we're streaming. But that's it. You know the drill. As always, nerd on.
Nerd on.